me speaking to you like I'm a good girl. Hi, how are you? Are you doing good? It's been so long. Okay, a week since I did this. A week and a few days, right? Yeah. And I had to disappear cause mi ni yule mgeni wa siku mbili. Nikishapisha hizo siku mbili, mtaanza kunizoea mniambia nioshe vyombo. Nastai kuosha vyombo. How are you doing? Look at me. I look like a primary school kid, right? Hairdresser gone wrong. Gosh. But I'm gonna slay it either way. Because that's my vibe. I look good either way. I look like a kid. And I hear that's a good thing in humanity. Femininity. Looking like a kid. Shall I tell you the story or shall I skip it? I don't know. Might skip it. But the topic of today, let me highlight it here. Because it sums up my hibernation period when I was gone. So I want to tell you what I learned. That do it scared. Do it scared. It's scared. Because what is that thing? Being ready is an illusion. Akinakwambia hii kitu ikienda off itanipo. Ready is an illusion. And we highlight this. Which color? Pink. Like it. We're gonna put it here. Yeah. So yeah, do it scared. Being ready is a fucking illusion. To my babes and people out there. So, before I left, I told you that I was getting into a phase where I was going to do something that scared me, like literally. But I had to do it because it would give me money. And I wasn't sure how to do it because I had never done it. But I just knew I had to do it. And, something deep within me, my intuition, my God, just told me that this was the way to make money, to make my rent, to make food, to make money. And even though the month had been hard, that this few days that I had, this 1 week that I had was gonna change everything. I just knew from deep within. But I was so scared because but you don't know, right? So that's the thing, that's the entire thing that makes you scared. Because you have this voice, God, telling you, do it. But then you also live in the world with human beings and you have a human body. And this human body is telling you like, shit, how though? How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna make that money in those few days? And everything will be okay. How? So yeah. So that's why I was bad. Because most of the time, I'm not gonna say all the time, because sometimes I follow the fear, because I'm like any other human being. But like 95% of my life, I do it scared. 98. 2% I say, hata mimi nimejaribu sana. Okay, let's call it 95, okay? 95% of my life, I do things scared and they turn out great. And I've also learned in that 95% that whenever I'm scared about something, it means it's gonna be amazing. Now, 5% is the chance that sometimes it doesn't work out the way I thought it would. Sometimes I fail. And it's embarrassing. Failure is embarrassing. I mean, right? It is embarrassing to fail. But then I've come to realize that embarrassment and humiliation, those are like the entry point of success, of money, wealth. So I'm trying to accept. It's hard, of course, to accept that you're going to be embarrassed. Embarrassment is even easy. You're going to be humiliated. God. But then I've been looking at, for the past few days, I've been looking at people who've made it, listening to these power women, Akina Cody Sanchez, Akina Afnan Khalifa. There's another one whose name I don't know. Like those power babes that you see on TikTok, IG, and social media, and you're like, oh shit, Leila Amoze. And I just want to be like these ladies. I want to be rich. I want to make power moves, and I want to be, to be amazing, to be successful, right? Like I saw Alex Homozy releasing his book. I had, I'd actually put like a reminder on my calendar that I really wanted to see, because I see him. I didn't follow him first. I followed Layla first because Layla spoke to me because I'm a woman. So I listened to Layla, just watched her, and then I came to know she has this husband called Alex Homozy, and then all these boys were listening to, the boys who want to be a big deal were listening to Alex Homozy, and then she started promoting her husband, and I started looking at his quotes, and I'm like, this guy is talking my language. So I set up, like the reminder for his event, and I watched it, and I was like, my God, what? That was on another level amazing. I was like, damn, I'm standing in the presence of greatness. Okay, I'm watching from miles away, from oceans away, but at least we have the internet, so you feel like we were all together there. And there were like, I don't know, was it 79K or 799K people watching the live on YouTube? And I was like, wow, how is this guy doing it, right? And then they got to a point that he was giving the book for free, and other books that he's written on money models. And I wanted to, but I just didn't feel like it was the right time for me to read his book. Might I regret it? I might, but I just didn't feel like it was right for me to download it at that time. But, I felt his impact. So those are the kind of people that I've been watching, listening to, and all of them say the same fucking thing, that you have to do it scared, that being ready is an illusion. I remember when I was sitting for my KCSE, and the entire time, whenever that entire period of the KCSE, every day I just felt like, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for this. But the time had come and I had to do it. And I see that pattern in so many things that I've done. I just feel like, I'm not ready for this. I'm too young to do this. But then, si imefika, time imefika, sasa utafanyaje? Utarudi nyuma, ushatoa manguo, lazima uoge. There was a time I wanted to go climb a certain hill around. It's a huge hill, and I'd always been, Vanessa. I'd always been attracted to the hill, cause like it's the highest place. It was the highest place where I was, visiting my grandmother, and I would look at it and I'm like, I want to climb that hill. And I used to tell people when I was a little girl, I want to go there. Take me there, take me there. But everyone always ignores you when you're a child because you're ignorable, right? So finally I was an adult and I went there and I saw the hill again. I was like, I want to climb that hill. I want to. It's a huge ass hill. And I wanted to climb it. And now I'm an adult. No one's gonna stop me, tell me you can't go there, right? So I just decided one morning, I said, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go. And it wasn't easy. I was scared as fuck. Cause everybody around me told me, yo, you're going to people's land. You know, like in the village, things are very territorial. You can't just go. You know, in Nairobi, like you can just say, I'm gonna go to Karura. Okay, there's a lot of public spaces in Nairobi, right? But here, here, even that place that you think is public, it's territorial. It's people's land. Land is land. Land is people. People are very territorial about. People have boundaries here. So, so everyone was telling me the same thing. How are you gonna go there? Are you gonna go alone? There is a shitty auntie of mine who just likes suspecting me for the things that she does. So she's telling me, oh, you're going to meet a man. That's why you're going there. You're not even gonna go there. We know. And I was like, ah, fuck that shit. So I just went, right? Because I wanted to, because it had been a calling ever since. And I felt that if I climb that hill, it will give me a clearer vision in my life. It would give me a bearing. And I will get a chance to test my faith. And I will feel accomplished if I climb that hill. So I went there. I went. And true to what they said, it was territorial. It was people's land. And people there know each other like everybody knows everyone. So they were looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing in our lands? But once I told them, you know, you just have to pretend that you're one of them. And since I know Kikuyus, who's gonna clock me, huh? So I went, and it was quite the journey. Yo, it was a high hill, and there was one road. Everybody told me about Vichochoro, but let's just be honest, I'm not gonna get raped. So I followed the main road. The good thing is that there's like a satellite uko juu kabisa. Kwa kilele kuna satellite, sijui ni ya Safaricom ama Airtel. So my focus was getting to that. I was scared. I was scared as fuck. Shit, I was scared. Damn, I was so scared. I was alone. I'm a girl. I'm just a girl, by the way. I am just a girl. And I was scared. I was in a territory that's not mine. I didn't have relatives there. I told people to take me. No one took me. So I had to go on my own. And I remember I got to a point and I started feeling like really scared. Because there were dogs and people were telling me there were wild animals there because it's a hill and it's like ancient, and then there's forest, there is a lot of bushes, there are men, like, you know, dirty men was working in the construction, working in the forest, just hunting and stuff. So it got to a point and I felt like I'm scared. I'm really scared. And I felt like crying because I was scared. But a voice inside me was like, of course you're scared. Like, or look at the odds. Like, of course you're scared. But if you get to that satellite up there, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel okay. You're going to conquer something. You'll feel like William the Conqueror. And sure, I walked through it. There wasn't a time that I wasn't scared, but no matter, you see, we are human beings, so we can carry a lot of emotions. It's not only fear that you can feel fear, courage, beauty, joy, and appreciate nature and yourself and everything in the world, and think about the president and think about the war in Ukraine and everything all at the same time. These things are not mutually exclusive. So, so yeah, I felt all of that. I liked what I saw. That I saw a lot of Kirinyaga when I was up on that hill, because it's a big hill. Of course, it's not like Mount Kenya, but you can see a lot of Kirinyaga. And I liked seeing that. I liked seeing all of that space. And when you're up there, you see it like when you're in a plane. You know when you're in a plane and you look down and you just see, you remember Like when we used to do geography, and you'll see the aerial view of a city, and it's like the plan in Saile na Chorwa. It's like that when you're up there, right? Right. So I saw like Kirinyaga from up there. I was seeing it as like it was so nice. I loved seeing that. I felt like so wow, like like I had conquered and achieved something being there. I breathed better. I saw new things, and I interacted with some gentlemen who liked me and wanted to marry me. Tunaenda home leo. Umekataa, ujue kupata, nimekumaka. Wanaume mnakuanga na kazi. Kazi yenyu ni mimi. Mimi ndio kazi yenyu. Ni sawa. At least nyinyi si kazi yangu. Okay. So, alright, fine. I was up there. I loved being up there. I saw a different culture. I met different kind of people. I got different stories, how their hair's there, and some wild animals. And yeah, being up there was amazing. It was really cold. It was on a rainy day. I'm proud of myself when I remember that day. I looked like a boy. Because it was back then when I'd shaved. So, yeah, I was shaven. I was wearing a raincoat, and then I had some katrao and some boots, and I was carrying like a backpack, cause yeah. I remember that day fondly because I was able to do something that I've always wanted to do ever since I was a child. So it was an accomplishment. And it made me want to climb Mount Kirinyaga. So now the next climb, of course I'm gonna climb other hills and adventure more hikes and stuff, but eventually I do want to climb Mount Kirinyaga because our ancestors believed that God lived in Mount Kirinyaga, and it does make sense for them to believe that God lived in Mount Kirinyaga. One day, the day that I returned to church, as I was going to church, I got a good glimpse of Mount Kirinyaga, and every time I see it, I feel, like God is speaking to me, right? So, when I saw Mount Kirinyaga at that point, and I was going to church, and I was feeling all religious, and I was feeling like, now I get why our ancestors, my ancestors, and the ancestors of Kirinyaga worshipped Mount Kirinyaga because, no, they didn't worship Mount Kirinyaga. They believed that God lived in Mount Kirinyaga because this mountain makes it possible for people in Kirinyaga to eat, to survive, to live. Food, there's like, rain comes, the closer you are to Mount Kirinyaga, the more rain you have, right? The more rain you have, the more food you have. The closer you are to Mount Kirinyaga, the better soil you have because it's volcanic soil, right? And it's the best kind of soil to grow food. So you've got good soil and you've got good rain. What else do you want? You get food. You're able to provide for your family, and we know food is the basic. Is the basic. So I get it. I get when my people say, my ancestors used to believe that God lived in Mount Kirinyaga. So yeah. So I eventually want to climb that mountain because I feel affiliated to it. Every person who comes from the mountain, they know the land is the land. The mountain is the mountain. I feel good. I feel fresh. I feel clean. I feel accomplished. I feel proud of myself. I'm doing everything scared. I am fucking scared about everything. About how I will live tomorrow. I don't have a safety net. I abandoned my safety net. I jumped out of the plane without a parachute. I dove into an ocean without knowing how to swim. I'm just, and somehow I'm keeping afloat. So I'm okay. It's scared. Being ready is an illusion. If I was gonna wait and wait and wait, I would have died waiting to be ready. I would never have gotten ready. I was watching a video. I don't know why you people pretend about money. Why? Why? What? Does that illusion of money being evil and not being important, does it make you feel like you're above other people? That's the thing, right? You feel like if you don't like money, if you keep on saying that money is not important, you are like uko better than other people, and that fuels you for the rest of your life, right? That's so weird to me. It's the most weird thing I've ever come across. But each one with his own. So anyway, the video that I was watching, it's made me so emotional. I keep on going to it, and I watch it, and I rewatch it, and I feel so emotional. When I first saw it, I cried because it's so relatable to my experience, and it's talking about ending generational poverty. I'm not saying that I come from like a poor homestead. No. Actually, most people who know my family think we are rich, but it's a wealth kind of thing that I'm thinking about. Wealthy, wealthy. Wealthy. The kind of generational wealth that people say that their great grandchildren are already rich. That's the kind of wealth I'm talking about. And in this video, there's this sunflower. Oh my god, I'm already feeling emotional. Also because things are going on in my womb, so my other woman is speaking, so I'm feeling a little bit emotional. If I had a boyfriend, I'll be curled up in his chest with my feet on his stomach, just like a baby, and just meow, meow, meow. So, anyway, so in this video, the so in this video, the sunflower is in dry grass, dry land, a desert, right? And the sunflower sees the rest of her sunflower kin just die, starve to death, just get choked by the desert, just die, just witnesses it, looks around and realizes this is a desert, and they feel so sad. And then they look around, she looks around and she sees greener pasture, greener land just across, right? Just across. She looks back again and everything is dead. She's the only one remaining. And she tries to pluck herself out of that desert. Tries to pluck. And it's hard because plucking yourself out of a desert, out of anything, is hard. She's a plant, she's a flower. And so she continues trying to pluck herself, and finally she's able to pluck herself out. And she looks back and sees the green pastures, and she wants to get there, right? Now she's free, she's plucked herself out. But then there's the journey between the desert and the oasis, right? And now it's time for her to cross from the sand, from the desert to the oasis. But then in between, And she tries to step into that land that separates them, but that land is hot. The sun is scorching. And I get that point of the sun because I've had to walk under the sun for days, and the sun is brutal. No one ever told me that the sun is brutal as fuck. Fuck. The sun is so fucking brutal. You get out there to hustle, and you came up with the idea. You fought. You said I will not stay down, right? I'm gonna work. I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna stay down. I'm gonna try. So you want that. And the moment you tried, another obstacle started. Because even waking up to do it, it's hard. But you woke up and you did it. You got a business. You decided, I'm gonna do a business. I'm gonna make money, because what are you gonna do without money? So you decided, you came up with a business plan, you looked for the capital, you got it, everything. You prepared your product. Inside everything is shaking and you're scared and you got no one. It's just you, right? And in spite of everything, you prepared product. It took time, it took energy, it took a lot of creativity, only for you to get out of your house or wherever it is that you're preparing your product, and this fucking sun, and I'm talking about the sun, literally the sun hits you so hard you wonder, Jesus, am I somebody's child? It hits you and you say, okay, sawa. You continue walking, right? Because you gotta do it. It keeps on hitting you, draining you. And you know the sun is hitting you. It's taking your energy. It's not even giving you energy. It's taking away from you. It's just making you tired. And now you pitch your product and you're pitching and you're pitching and you're pitching. And still, you know, not everything is a yes, right? And you still have to get out, go back to the fucking sun. It has to hit you and hit you. And it's so unforgiving. The sun is so unforgiving. The sun. I don't know, when people told us life was going to be difficult, they never told us that the sun was going to be among those things that just take everything from you. It's supposed to give us energy, right? And then anyway, so back to the story about the sunflower. So she gets hit by the sun. The sun. Namchoma miguu hata hawezi tembea. So fast and I go back, right? It's hitting her feet. She tries again. It's too hot. But she decides, you know what, I'm gonna go back, pull myself, you know, the same way you pull an arrow, not to give it like, what is it? Like the, yeah, and it just hit me that sometimes you have to pull back, and for you to pull back so that you can shoot, it takes a lot of energy to pull back, and you have to still pull back so that you can come back. And so she pulls back and decides, I'm gonna run across that turf to the other green pastures, right? So she runs. It's hitting, it's scorching her. The sun is scorching her head, it's scorching her feet, and she just keeps going. It goes to a point, she falls. Because her roots, her legs down, they're just damaged. And she's ran out. Like, amehitiwa na sun. She doesn't have the juice. Her feet are scorched as fuck. I understand that the science of feet being scorched, having to heal your feet. So she falls down. Then again, she just keeps on seeing that green land. Tell you, this story makes me very emotional because I felt it. So she begins to crawl because she sees that green pasture. So she continues to crawl. She crawls, crawls, crawls. But now finally it's difficult. And she's giving out. But she's so close, so she keeps on trying to go, right? And finally, she gives out. All her energy is spent. And when she's just near, she gives out. She lays. And at that moment, it reminded me of, wow. Wow. I didn't think this was going to be emotional. Fuck. No one's watching, so that's okay. Wow. Go away. I don't want you to see me like this. Where's my handkerchief? It's almost over. Sour. It's over. Okay, so it reminded me of a moment in my life where I was at that moment where that sunflower is, and I had given out. Thank God they are gone. I had given out, like I completely gave out at that moment, and it was an important moment. But wow, hey, I haven't gotten this emotional publicly in a very long time. Damn, what's happening? So yeah, a moment was, I guess, the most important moment in a woman's life. And I tried and tried, but it was so hard. It was so hard. And I thought, I'm dead, right? And I gave out. But then, hey, I'm gonna, I'm gonna feel so naked after this. Isianza kuteremka. So anyway, in that moment, I gave out. But at least there was my best friend was right there with me, and this other lady. And the moment they saw that I gave out, they encouraged me, right? Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Give me a second. Okay, I can go on now. So at that moment, my best friend and the other lady encouraged me on. So with one last push, like I gave this one my life, like Okay, fine. Right. Okay. So with one last push, I gave it all, my everything. In my head, if I die, I die. And I pushed. I pushed my baby out. Yeah. So I did it. I didn't care if I was dying. I actually gave it my last shot. Like, if I die, I die. And I gave it my push, my everything. That baby didn't even need spanking. It just cried. And I'd done it, right? I'd given birth. And I guess that's why the sunflower story was so emotional for me. That's why I'm being like this right now. Cause in that last part, they gave out, right? But then they got the willpower from inside to just give their all, to give her all, to just give it, like give. And for her, it was, I die now. And she just collapsed and gave out. It's like that pushing that you do in the labor room. And so, the moment she does it, her spores, they're spores, right? Her spores just fly from her and land into the green pasture. And that moment she dies, right? But her spores just go into the green pastures. She just gives them out and gives herself out. She dies. And the next morning, as the sprinklers in that green pastures, that green estate start sprinkling water, her spores come to life. Her children come to life. And they bloom. They bloom. And they occupy that pasture, green land, that oasis. They just occupy. And that's the story for many people trying to escape the forms of poverty. Many people just trying to change their destiny and the destiny of the ones that come from their bloodline, the ones who will be called by them. It's that serious. Because if you give out, you die. If you stay in the same place, you die. So you gotta be burnt by the like scorching sun. Like get so burnt. Your feet will get bruised. Your throat will become sore from screaming, from begging, from cajoling, from intimidating, from persuading. Because you can't sleep hungry. Because it's not just about sleeping hungry on that day. It's not just about paying rent for that month. It's about the rest of your life. It's about the children you bring into this world. It's about your legacy. It's about your name. It's about the generations that will come from you. So when we talk about saving yourself from poverty, money is a way to get you to wealth. Because you haven't inherited it. So many people get angry and they start quoting the Bible and how money is the root of all evil, the love of money, and I don't know, health is more important and your family is more important. You are working hard to get this money so that you can secure a future for your family. What good is there for you to be with your family sleeping under a bridge? What? If that was the case, then God wouldn't have created the world. He just created people and put them in darkness in some dark waters. But now I understand that I don't have to explain this shit. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it. Maybe because I don't have to explain it, right? I love money. I know money can get me stuff. I have been poor. I know what poverty means. I know what sleeping hungry means. And I know how easy money can make your life. I know. I know how having money can get you in the right places, give you the right connection, connect you to spaces you never thought you would be, give you experiences that people only dream of, get you listened to by people who are older by like 3 decades. Money gives you a voice, money gives you confidence. But that's not the point of this conversation, right? The point of this conversation is you need to do things scared. While chasing that money, while chasing that financial stability, while building that generational wealth, you have to do things scared. And so I did my thing scared last week because I got a call, like I got a voice. The voice talked to me and he told me what I needed to do. So I did. You must know what I say. And the same voice that told me to come here. The same voice that told me to do that. So I went ahead and did it. And it was successful. I did not fail one bit. Did I stumble a bit? Yeah. Was it a little bit difficult? A little bit. Will I do it again? Of course, yes. Did I make money? Yes. That's all that matters. Did it open my mind up for future endeavors and ventures? Yes. And I did it all scared. Every fucking day I was scared. Every step I was scared. Every interaction interaction, I was scared. And that's the point. I did it scared. What was I gonna do? Wait an year for me to understand how the dynamics here works so that I could do it? No. Being ready is an illusion. And that's the point. That's the point. Just do it, right? You just go ahead and do it. Whatever you feel like, when that voice speaks to you and gives you the direction. Because right now I'm here because a voice spoke to me and told me this is where I need to be right now. And so I came. And so I came. Because what was the other option? The voice did not stay. Was I scared to come here? Totally. Am I scared every day living here? A bit. But not really. But I'm listening, and the more I listen, the better it gets. The doubt is it's obvious. Like, even right now, there is something the voice has already told me what I'm supposed to do next. I'm so scared about it. I'm like, Jesus, how am I gonna begin to do that? What if it doesn't work? And because I tried another version of that and it didn't work, so I'm being shown another version that could work. And the doubt creeps in. But I'm still gonna do it, because what's the other option? Not do it, die out, be broke. So yeah, I'm still gonna do it scared. I'm gonna give myself tomorrow to just, chill out, because while I was doing it scared, I extenuated myself, my feet hurt, my body was like broken down, so I needed like 2 days to heal, and then I just said I'm gonna add myself one to just get myself ready for the next phase, because I think it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I know it's gonna be amazing. So no matter how scary it's gonna be, I'm just gonna head on. And I've also realized it's like a reward system thing, that if you do it when you're scared, like, you're more likely to be rewarded for doing it because you are scared. I tell you, the laws of this being, of existing, they're just on another level fucked up. But they're okay. I don't question, I just follow. Oh, who am I kidding? I question a lot. But I also like the learning bit, because you see, if you do the things that you're ready for, oh my god, I just realized that there's something that I've been postponing, because I'm thinking I'm already at a comfortable position doing whatever I'm doing. So if I get into that, I'm gonna be I'm gonna run out of my comfort. So I'm just realizing as I talk to, that's why I like doing these lives, because I think I'm talking to you, but really I'm just talking to myself, and you are like my audience. So I just realized that that thing that I'm afraid of doing, because it's gonna get me out of my comfort zone, is exactly what I should do, because the rewards are so good. They're so good. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I just need one day to just, I don't know, ride a bicycle, hike, something. And then I'm gonna get back in tandem and do what I must, cause I know it's gonna be glorious, cause I wasn't called here so that I could be, like, humiliated more. I've already been humiliated. I know what humiliation tastes like, so I'm gonna be okay. But my message to you today is, do it scared. Do it scared. There is no other way. You're never going to be ready. Even when you've been pregnant 9 months, the day of giving birth, you won't be ready. Yes, it's that serious. You won't be ready. Even when you're pushing out. Oh, I had a meltdown. On Facebook Live. Do you know something? The other day, I remembered that there was a day I was so heartbroken, so damaged, so destroyed in 2020. I went on IG Live and cried at 2 a.m. Oh, that was so creepy. Yeah, I know. I was so heartbroken. My life was going so bad. I was trying to publish a magazine and my eh, mi hata sijui vile nilisurvive hiyo mwaka. And I still produced a magazine, an international publication. Who am I? I'm dealing with a fucking amazing living tiger, lioness, leopard. Because if I went through that and came out still strong, kuna kitu inafaa kuwa initisha maisha yangu. So yeah, the meltdown I just had earlier, oh my god, fuck. Kumbe, that's why I was relating so much with that sunflower video. Because it reminded me of my own pain. So now it's time for me to turn that pain into profit. So, yeah. Anyway, because I usually come here to get like a bearing. The point is, do it. Do it scared. Do it scared. I'll come back here whenever I'm ready, whenever I feel like coming. When you watch this, I just want you to know. No one knows what they're doing. When they begin, everybody just tries stuff and then at the end it works. You can start as Akina Leila and Alex Hormozi and Akina Cody Sanchez. They're on another level. Afnan. We are here. Where we are. Wherever you are, that's where you are. You're broke, you're unemployed, that's where you are. It's your chance to decide to be better. That's where you are. Utauza uji. That's where you are. You have to start from there. Because we have to break this poverty, generational poverty things. So yeah, go do it. Do it scared. Trust me. I am doing it. And other powerful people are doing it. So good night. And thank you for joining me. I have been your host, Vanessa W.O. Finish this fucking thing. Oh, okay.